Hey, True Believers, what's going on? It's Cole. How you guys doing? I think we've all coming down from a little bit of what's known as the Halloween hangover. Maybe some of you partied really hard or ate too much candy, watched too many movies, all that stuff. In my case, it's just a lot, sort of an overdose on horror movies and horror comics and all that stuff. It's really fun, and I love it, but it's good that it's over now and get away from it, move into other things. Okay, so for my other thing, some more Batman. Not really what I originally was thinking of coming into November, but the last 2 weeks I've just, my brain, I've just been in a Batman mode, especially early 90s Batman for some reason. But anyway, that's not what I'm going to talk about. I thought I'd talk about something that, again, another big popular thing, and you've probably read about it, seen it, maybe you read it yourself, that sort of thing. Obviously, it was a big deal in the world of comics, pretty recent, only a couple years ago, and that is All-Star Batman and Robin the Boy Wonder, which, of course, with Frank Miller doing the writing duties, teamed up with superstar artist Jim Lee, who, of course, was the artist on Hush, the other Batman thing I talked about. But anyway, I thought this would just be fun. I didn't write down a bunch of facts or anything this time. It's more just my impressions, what's going on. So this came out a couple years ago. It was very highly anticipated. It's not canon. It's, again, it's part of Miller's own sort of universe, and it's just about sort of the origin of Dick Grayson and some other things. And it was, of course, very highly anticipated. Very strange, mixed response to it, of course. It was notorious for super long delays between issues, and then, obviously, the writing came under question, and that's mostly what I'm going to talk about. Okay, so this is the nice hardcore... I keep saying hardcore, What kind of life must you think I lead? This is the hardcover edition, which is nice. So, right off the bat, I'll just say, I am glad I own this. This is fantastic. I love this. But is it because I think it's that good? No. It's because it's ridiculous. This is how I feel about it anyway. I think that All-Star Batman and Robin the Boy Wonder is absolutely friggin' ridiculous. Frank Miller has taken Batman and twisted it into something that I've never seen Batman as before, and it's amusing. I'm not going to get mad and freak out about it because it's not canon. It's not what's going on in the normal comics, and if they want to show this as some other version of Batman's history, fine. So let's start here. Art is amazing, fantastic. Jim Lee, again, gorgeous colors. This just looks so good. We start off, here's good old Vicky Vale, remember her? And she's in her underwear, because when Frank Miller writes characters, females, I'm not saying they're not strong and good, but he makes damn sure they're hot. And, they're really every female in here is hot as hell and a sex object. That's what they are. Not saying that they aren't other things, but this is the way Miller does stuff. We all know Sin City and stuff like that. The female characters are strong and tough, and certainly, they're not, it's not like it's all up to the men, but they're also, so they're not one-dimensional, but still, it comes down to hot, beautiful art. Okay, so it starts Bruce Wayne taking Vicky Vale out on a date to see the Flying Graysons, and of course the Graysons are killed. But again, messing with some stuff here, the Graysons land okay, and then they're friggin' shot in the head. I don't know why he changes that, but he decides, yeah, let's shoot them in the head. So that's what happens. They shoot in the head. Batman arrives off the scene right away, and here's where things get really trippy. He decides that again in the Frank Miller universe of Gotham, cops are even more corrupt than usual. They are super corrupt, and the whole idea is the cops know all about this. They're going to take Grayson away and make him disappear. So Batman arrives on the scene and kidnaps Grayson in front of everybody, Dick, and gets him out of there. He's 12 years old, and gets him out of there. You've just been drafted into a war, as he says. You can't really see that, can you? Is that a little better? I don't know, sorry. But anyway, so that's the end of that first episode. Now we're episode 2, There's No Time for Grief. And this really follows, off-panel, Vicky Vale's been hurt. They don't even mention that. All of a sudden, she's just hurt, and you're like, what? What else we got going on here? So, for a very long time now, we've got Batman, who suddenly has stubble, even though when he was on his date, he didn't have any, when he was out with Vicky Vale. Is that a big nitpicking? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But still, it's a little weird to me. It's, I get Batman having stubble, but at this time, it doesn't make any sense, really. 5 o'clock Shadow, and then there's 5 o'clock Shadow. Okay, yeah, I'm wasting time talking about not important stuff. So anyway, for the rest of the action, it's just Batman driving with Grayson, and they're talking. And Batman's all weird and angry, even though this is supposed to be early in his career. He's not supposed to be nearly this bitter. But he's really bitter and weird. There's some good stuff in there. I like how when Grayson's thinking about, he's saying that's not his real voice. He's doing some sort of Clint Eastwood impression. I thought that was kind of funny. I thought that fit. That's a neat little thing. Anyway, you got Batman taking out cops, and then, of course, the Batmobile takes off and starts flying. Batman just keeps telling Dick Grayson to shut up every time Grayson, whose parents have just been killed right in front of him. And he's got a lot of attitude, more attitude than I've ever heard from Dick Grayson. Like, he's not, again, this is not supposed to be a happy-go-lucky moment for him. Like, his parents were just murdered right in front of him. He's in deep shock. But still, the dialogue between them is just, he's just ridiculous. And of course you've heard about what is probably the most famous and infamous part of this. You have him just, shut up, I'll do the talking here. And then you have Grayson saying, who the hell are you anyway? Giving out orders like this. And here it is. Batman replies, what are you, dense? Are you retarded or something? Who the hell do you think I am? I'm the goddamn Batman. Which, of course, was a big sensation all over the internet and stuff like that. This just thrilled people. I'm the goddamn Batman. And since things went so slowly on this and there was time to gauge fan response, Miller took it and ran with it. You're going to hear the phrase goddamn Batman a million times throughout this. And it gets less funny every time, if you ask me. And anyway, so, again, would Batman say things like that? Are you retarded or something? Like, no, this does not strike me as Batman or Bruce Wayne or anything. In the middle, we have a little interlude about Black Canary, who I never thought, she was a bird of prey, but I never thought it was that important in the Batman universe. But anyway, we get an origin thing of her just sort of being inspired by the Batman, flip it out, kicking the crap out of a bunch of guys, stealing a motorcycle. There's some really annoying dialogue in there with all the men hitting on her. Again, she's super hot, big sex object, but that's sort of the point. She's sort of rebelling against all these guys, hitting on her, treating her like that. So this just goes on and on. For forever, they're in the Batmobile, they fly, and now at one point they go underwater, and it just keeps going. In this, actually, so what do you call this thing anyway? The Batmobile. That is totally queer. Shut up. Of course, Dick Grayson named it with the kid, the whole thing, the childlike innocence of giving the name the Batmobile. But in this, he named it himself. Again, he's... Okay, now we jump to Metropolis, and apparently Clark Kent is a really angry guy, too. Everybody's so pissed off and angry in this universe. He sees that Dick Grayson has been kidnapped. He knows exactly, and he's just like, damn! He flips out, burns a hole in the newspaper, he's mad. Finally, we get the kid back to the Batcave, and it is quite spectacular. You got a fold out here that I wish I could show properly. It just goes on and on. It's fantastic. You can't see it. The light's all screwed up. I apologize. Look, there's even another page. And it's beautiful, I must say. Another thing that makes this edition worth owning, stunning art, great interpretation of the Batcave here. Again, so this is weird again. So instead of Bruce Wayne adopting him, Dick Grayson, in the wake of this tragedy, you just have Batman kidnapping him more or less, although it was to help him. Also, another thing that's weird is it's inferred is that he'd meant all along to make this kid Robin. He just wanted to do it a few years later because he was impressed by his skills as an acrobat, blah, 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 and he'd been looking into his background. The kid had taken karate and stuff as a black belt and all this stuff. So he was actually looking into the idea, which flips the whole thing on its head. I don't think Batman ever had any intention of having any sort of sidekick, let alone a young one. Although, again, like you said, he was forced into action by this early, by the kid's parents being killed. You have him leaving him in the cave while he goes out and does stuff. Doesn't even feed him or anything like that. Just leaves him in the dark, telling him he should eat rats. Alfred, of course, comes and gives him some food and treats him nice. Batman actually threatens him, grabs him, pushes him against the wall. Sir, I am your butler, I am your aide, I am your medic. I am not, however, your slave. Unhand me. I mean, wow. I mean, Batman's just losing all control here. He's flipping out on Alfred. We don't see that very much. So then we go to Metropolis for a very early meeting of the Justice League, which is just Wonder Woman, Plastic Man, the Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, and Superman. And if you want pissed off, nothing beats Diana. I mean, she is just so mad. There's this whole long soliloquy where she's just so mad. She hates men. She hates men. I get it. She's an Amazon. But was she ever this mean? She shows up at the meeting. They talk of they have to stop this Batman because he's giving them all a bad name, blah, blah, blah. She just flips out on everybody. She just yells and screams at them. And then, of course, out of nowhere, she makes out with Superman, pulls away, tells him that she, friggin' hates him. Another thing, Batman is running around like a loon. He laughs his head off when he attacks criminals. He's just beating the snot out of these criminals. It's more like Moon Knight. He's crippling them. Oh, am I going to have to do a part 2? I mean, this just has to keep going and going, guys. I'm going to talk more about this because this is so amazing, okay? Stick with me. Yeah, I'm so sorry for taking so long. We're going to come back to this because, yeah, I just have so much to say on it because it's fun. Hey, if you're a veteran, thanks a lot. We'll never forget, alright? So, peace, and more Batman next time. Same bad time, same bad channel. I used that joke before. Later.